I'm super happy with the game, how I played. I think she was a tough opponent and yeah, tough conditions out there, very hot, but I'm just very happy with the
Sabi ng tatay ko, Spanish yun eh. Pero in English yan, sabi niya, a good life is expensive.
Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana...
Okay, Joey, nag-react na ang National Press Club dun sa
Hindi,
segment na yun.
ganito na lang, Bud, sa Lolit. Salamat, Benny.
Scandal in the studio. Alex Eala silences Joey De Leon and hits career high. The truth behind the outburst. Before we dive into the most explosive story taking over the Philippines right now, I need to take a massive second to say thank you. We just hit 3,000 subscribers here on Champions Tennisitics. That is 3,000 of you tuning in for the drama, the victories, and the absolute fire that is the world of tennis. If you are new here, welcome to the family. If you've been here since day one, you are a legend. Now, buckle up, because the tea today is piping hot, and frankly, it is overflowing. Shut up. You don't understand me, and you have no right to order me. Those were the words that reportedly shook the walls of a Manila studio and left the entire Philippines in a state of absolute shock. We are talking about a moment so tense, so raw, that it silenced a room full of producers and left veteran host Joey De Leon pale-faced and speechless. For 10 agonizing seconds, you could hear a pin drop. The reports are flying in, and the internet is in a meltdown. Allegedly, the confrontation sparked when the 20-year-old tennis sensation, Alex Eala, was scolded and told to leave the country to follow rich America or to get out of the Philippines. Can you imagine telling the country's golden girl to get out? The audacity is off the charts. But Alex didn't just sit there and take it. According to The Buzz, she threw a stack of documents on the table, literally turning the tables on the conversation and exposing a narrative that certain industry giants did not want you to know. The director reportedly panicked. The cameras were cut. But as we all know in this digital age, once the match is lit, the fire spreads. The Philippines is boiling over these 30 seconds of history, a moment where the quiet, humble athlete we thought we knew showed she has the heart of a lioness, not just on the court, but in defending her dignity. But here is the ultimate plot twist, the kind of poetic justice that you only see in movies. While the critics and the old guard were busy trying to talk her down or question her loyalty to her flag, Alex Eala wasn't just making noise in a studio. She was making history on the global stage. The best revenge isn't screaming back. It's succeeding so hard that your haters have to look up to see you. And that is exactly what she did. Ladies and gentlemen, the new rankings are out, and the verdict is undeniable. New year, same Alex Eala, but with a brand new number next to her name. After a banner year in 2025 where she grinded through the tour, Alex has officially cracked the code again. As of this Monday, our Filipino tennis queen has reached a new career-high ranking of world number 49. Let that sink in for a second. Top 50 in the world. She jumped from number 53, bypassing her previous best of number 50 set last November, and planted her flag firmly inside the elite circle of women's tennis. This isn't just a ranking. It's a statement. It's a direct response to anyone who says she doesn't belong or that her training abroad at the Rafa Nadal Academy has somehow disconnected her from her roots. If anything, she is putting the Philippine flag on maps where it has never been planted before. This leap comes hot off the heels of a scorching run at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand. Now, if you were following our updates on the community tab, you know this tournament was a roller coaster of emotions. Alex wasn't just participating. She was dominating. She was relentless en route to the semifinals, taking down heavy hitters and proving that her preseason work was no joke. She faced off against China's Wang Xinyu in a semifinal match that had everyone on the edge of their seats. It was a three-set thriller, a true dogfight. Alex fought tooth and nail, but ultimately bowed out in 3 tight sets. It was heartbreaking, yes. She narrowly missed the final round of this WTA 250 event, a stage that would have been the perfect cherry on top of her ranking boost. But let's look at the context here. She lost to a player who is surging right now. Wang Xinyu jumped from 57th to 43rd after that performance. And let's not forget who won the whole thing. Veteran Ukrainian powerhouse and world number 13, Elena Svitolina. Svitolina took the crown in straight sets, But the fact that Alex was right there in the mix, trading blows with the best, shows that the gap between her and the top 20 is closing fast. After the match, Alex was the picture of grace mixed with a warrior's hunger. She said, "Until my heart stops. So close yet so far." That quote right there, that is the mindset of a champion. She admitted the loss stung, but she also took the time to thank Auckland for the wairua, the spirit, and the hospitality. She didn't dwell on the defeat. She absorbed the lesson. And frankly, she doesn't have time to dwell, because the tennis calendar waits for no one, and the schedule Alex has lined up is absolutely brutal in the best way possible. The ASB Classic was just the appetizer. The main course is coming up, and it is the Grand Slam of the Asia Pacific, the Australian Open. But before she steps onto the iconic blue courts of Melbourne Park for the main draw, she has one more stop, and it is a prestigious one. Eala has been invited to the Kuang Classic. Now, for the casual fans, the Kuang Classic isn't just any tournament. It is an invitation-only, exhibition event that serves as the spiritual warm-up for the Open. Being invited there is a nod of respect from the tennis community. It means you are someone people want to watch. At Kuang, she is set to face some familiar faces and some absolute legends. She will be competing against world number 70 Donna Vekic, who she actually beat in Auckland, by the way, along with Petra Martic and Magda Linette. But the name on the list that has everyone checking their calendars twice is Daniela Hanachova. Yes, you heard that right. The 42-year-old Slovakian legend, a four-time Grand Slam mixed doubles winner and former world number 5, is making a surprise return to the court. Hanachova retired back in 2017, but she's dusting off the racket to face the new generation. Imagine that visual. Eala, the 20-year-old rising star of Asia, standing across the net from a legend who was winning slams when Alex was just a toddler. It is a passing of the torch moment, a clash of eras, and it is going to be electric. This invite to Kuang is strategic. It's the final tune-up. It's about getting the feet moving on the Melbourne surface without the crushing pressure of ranking points, but with all the intensity of top-tier competition. And Alex needs to be sharp because the Australian Open is where the real history is written. Remember, Alex has a love affair with Australia. Let's rewind the tape to 2020. A 13-year-old Eala, alongside Indonesia's Priska Madeline Nugroho, lifted the Australian Open girls doubles trophy. That was the moment the world really sat up and noticed her. Now, 7 years later, she returns not as a junior hopeful, but as a top 50 WTA professional, making her main draw debut. She's bypassing the grueling qualifying rounds thanks to that shiny new ranking. She will be competing in both singles and doubles, maximizing her exposure and her chances to go deep. The narrative that she should leave the country, or that she's following rich America, is such a tired, toxic take. Tennis is a global sport. To be the best, you have to train with the best. The Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain didn't make her less Filipino. It sharpened her into a weapon that the Philippines can be proud of. Every time she steps on that court, the flag next to her name hasn't changed. The anthem she plays for hasn't changed. And frankly, for a TV host or anyone else to question her allegiance just because she seeks excellence abroad is not just insulting to her. It's insulting to every OFW and every Filipino striving for greatness overseas. The contrast between the drama in the studio and the discipline on the court could not be starker. On one side, you have noise, controversy, and old-school mentality trying to box her in. On the other side, you have Eala, world number 49, Grand Slam competitor, and an athlete who lets her racket do the talking. She threw those documents on the table in the studio? Maybe. But she is throwing down aces on the court, and that is what matters. Now let's talk about what this ranking really means in the grand scheme of women's tennis. Breaking into the top 50 is not just a numerical milestone. It's a gateway. It's the difference between being an outsider looking in and being part of the conversation when the big tournaments roll around. At world number 49, Alex is now positioned to get direct entry into almost every WTA event on the calendar without having to go through the soul-crushing qualifying rounds. That means more matches, more experience, more prize money, and more ranking points to defend and build upon. It's a virtuous cycle that can propel a player into the top 30 or even top 20 if they can maintain their form and stay healthy. The top 50 also means something else, something that doesn't show up on the stat sheets but is absolutely critical in professional tennis. Respect. When you're in the top 50, the tour veterans start watching your matches. The coaches start analyzing your game. The media starts asking for interviews. You're no longer just a promising youngster or a feel-good story. You're a legitimate threat. And for Eala, who has been grinding on the tour for years now, dealing with injuries, tough draws, and the pressure of carrying an entire nation's hopes on her shoulders, this respect is long overdue. But let's not sugarcoat the journey to get here. Tennis is one of the most brutal individual sports on the planet. There's no team to carry you when you're having an off day. There's no coach who can sub you out when you're gassed. It's just you, the court, and your opponent, and the mental warfare that happens in those moments is as intense as the physical battle. Alex has had to learn this the hard way. There have been heartbreaking losses, matches where she was up a set and serving for the match, only to watch it slip away. There have been injuries that forced her to withdraw from tournaments she was excited about. There have been weeks where the ranking went down instead of up, and the doubt starts creeping in, whispering that maybe she's not good enough, maybe she's peaked, maybe she should just quit. But she didn't quit. She kept showing up. She kept training. She kept believing. And now, here we are, watching her reach a career-high ranking at just 20 years old. The scary part? She's just getting started. Most players don't hit their prime until their mid-20s. If Alex can stay healthy and keep this trajectory going, we could be looking at a top 20 player, maybe even a top 10 player, in the next couple of years. And if she can add some weapons to her game, maybe a more consistent serve or a more aggressive net game, the sky is literally the limit. Speaking of weapons, let's talk about what makes Eala such a dangerous player. If you've watched her matches, and I know many of you have because you're here on this channel, you know that her biggest strength is her mental toughness. She doesn't give up. Ever. She's the kind of player who will claw back from a set down, who will save break points when her back is against the wall, who will out-hustle and out-fight opponents who might be more talented on paper. That grit, that refuse-to-lose mentality, is something you can't coach. You either have it or you don't. And Alex has it in spades. Her ground strokes are solid, particularly her forehand, which she can really lean into and drive with power when she steps inside the baseline. Her backhand is reliable, and she's been working on adding more topspin and depth to it to keep opponents pinned behind the baseline. Her movement is exceptional. She covers the court like a blanket, tracking down balls that most players would let go for winners. And her return game? Absolutely elite. She puts so much pressure on her opponent's serves, constantly getting the ball back in play and forcing them to earn every single point. Where she still has room to grow is her serve. It's not a weapon yet. It's functional, it gets the job done, but it's not a serve that's going to rack up free points or bail her out of tough service games. If she can add 5 to 10 miles per hour to her first serve and improve her placement, especially out wide in the deuce court, she's going to win a lot more free points and conserve energy over the course of long matches and tournaments. The serve is often the last thing to develop for players, especially women, because it requires a combination of technique, timing, and raw power that can take years to refine. But Alex is working with world-class coaches at the Rafa Nadal Academy, and you can bet that serve development is at the top of the list. Now, let's swing back to the elephant in the room, the reported studio confrontation. The details are still murky, and we have to be careful about jumping to conclusions based on unverified reports, but the story that's circulating is explosive enough that it deserves a deeper look. According to multiple sources, Alex was invited to a television taping, presumably to talk about her tennis career and her recent successes. These kinds of appearances are usually feel-good segments, a chance for the athlete to bask in some well-deserved praise and for the show to ride the wave of her popularity. But something went very, very wrong. But now, as a top 50 player, the financial picture changes dramatically. The prize money at WTA events is substantial, and even losing in the first round of a Grand Slam pays out a decent chunk of change. If Alex can string together a few good results, if she can make a few deep runs in bigger tournaments, she can secure her financial future and take some of the pressure off. That, in turn, allows her to focus purely on tennis, to invest in better coaching and training, to give herself the best possible chance to succeed. It's a virtuous cycle, and she's right on the cusp of it. Here's the thing, she wants to win. She wants to be the best. She wants to make her family proud, to make the Philippines proud, to prove to herself that she can compete with anyone in the world. That intrinsic motivation, that internal fire, is what separates the good players from the great ones. So, what can we expect in Melbourne? Honestly, anything is possible. Tennis is unpredictable. Upsets happen all the time. Players get injured. They have off days. They crumble under pressure. But if Alex plays the way she's capable of playing, if she brings the intensity and the focus that she showed in Auckland, then she's going to be a tough out for anyone. And if things break her way, if she gets a few favorable bounces, if she catches an opponent on a bad day, then who knows how far she can go. Fourth round, quarterfinals? Let's not put a ceiling on it. Let's just watch and see what happens. One thing is for sure, the entire Philippines will be watching. Every Filipino around the world will be tuning in, cheering her on, willing her to win. That kind of support is incredible, but it's also a double-edged sword. It can lift you up, but it can also weigh you down if you let it. The key for Alex will be to channel that energy, to use it as fuel, without letting the expectations crush her. She's talked about this before, about the pressure of representing a nation, and she's handled it remarkably well so far. There's no reason to think she won't continue to do so. And let's not forget, this is just the beginning. Alex is 20 years old. She has a decade, maybe even more, of elite-level tennis ahead of her. This Australian Open is one tournament in what will hopefully be a long, successful career. Win or lose, she's going to learn, she's going to grow, and she's going to come back stronger. That's the trajectory she's on, and it's incredibly exciting to watch. Before we wrap up, I want to circle back to that studio moment one more time, because I think it's symbolic of something bigger. That moment, if it happened the way it's been reported, was Eala refusing to be diminished. It was her drawing a line in the sand and saying, "I will not be disrespected. I will not be told how to live my life or how to pursue my dreams." That takes courage. That takes conviction. And it's exactly the kind of energy she needs to bring to the Australian Open. Tennis is a battle, not just against your opponent, but against yourself, against doubt, against fear, against the voice in your head that says you're not good enough. Every player deals with it. The champions are the ones who can quiet that voice, who can step onto the court with confidence and belief, who can say, "I belong here, and I'm going to prove it." Eala has that belief. You can see it in the way she plays, in the way she carries herself, in the way she fought back in that studio. She's not here to make up the numbers. She's here to win. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to follow every single match. We're going to break down the draws when they come out. We're going to analyze her opponents, talk about the matchups, and give you all the insights you need to understand what's happening on the court. This is going to be a wild ride, and I want you with me every step of the way. The Australian Open starts in just a few days, and before that, we have the Kuang Classic, which is going to be must-watch tennis. Champions Tennisidics is your home for all things Eala, all things Philippine tennis, and all things drama on and off the court. We don't shy away from the tough topics. We don't sugarcoat the losses. But we also celebrate the victories, and man, do we have a lot to celebrate right now. World number 49. Career high. Australian Open main draw. Kuang Classic invite. This is history being made in real time, and you're watching it happen. Now I want to hear from you. What do you make of the reported studio explosion? Do you think the criticism of her training abroad is fair, or is it just noise from people who don't understand elite sports? And how far do you think she will go in the Australian Open this year? Fourth round, quarterfinals, dare we dream bigger? Sound off in the comments below. I read every single one of them. The debate is already heating up, so get in there and make your voice heard. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you are Team Eala all the way, smash that like button. It helps the channel grow and helps us bring you more of these updates, more of this analysis, more of this passion. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers now, and I want you there with us for the ride. Every subscriber matters. Every view counts. We're building something special here, a community of people who love tennis, who love the drama, who love rooting for the underdog and watching them rise to the top. This is Champions Tennisidics, signing off. Stay loud, stay proud, and keep watching the court. Eala is just getting started, and so are we. Peace.
Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung suporta niyo
Alam niyo kung bakit pinaglaban namin itong... Hindi, baka maiyak na naman ako.